What's a short, clean joke that gets a laugh every time?
A guy in a club is leaving the dance floor when he notices that his watch is missing. He looks all around and sees a BF and GF arguing and the BF is stepping on it. The guy walks over and punches the guy, picks up his watch and says, "No one disrespects woman, not on my watch." My 4-year-old nephew has been learning Spanish since lockdown. He can't say please, which I think is poor for 4. Where does a general keep his armies? In his sleeves. This one I told my to-be Mill to check her sense of humor. What's the difference between a cigar and a mother-in-law? The best thing about a cigar is the first inhale, and the best thing about a mother-in-law is the last one. She didn't laugh. Shout out to all the sidewalks out there for keeping me off the streets. Do you know why gorillas have big fingers? Because they have big nostrils. Mimic picking nose. Q. What is the most useless job in the world? A. Installing turn signals on BMWs. What do you call a guy with a rubber toe? Roberto. What do you do when you see a spaceman? Park your car, man. I would call this clean. What did the bra say to the hat? You go on ahead, I'll give these two a lift. What's brown and sticky? A stick. Your dad's ding dong. Once I got to go on a date with a supermodel. We had dinner, watched a movie, and the plane landed. Credit to Dave Attell. 5 pigs walk into a bar. The first one orders 1 beer. Drinks it, goes to the washroom, and leaves. The second pig orders 2 beers, drinks them, goes to the washroom and leaves. The third pig orders 3 beers, drinks them, goes to the washroom and leaves. The fourth pig orders 4 beers, drinks them, goes to the washroom and leaves. The fifth pig orders 5 beers, drinks them, and stands up to leave. The bartender says, "Don't you need to use the washroom?" And pig replies, "Nah. I'll go wee all the way home." Time flies like an arrow. Fruit flies like a banana. A dung beetle walks into a bar and asks the bartender, "Is this still taken?" Why were there bones on the moon? Because the cow didn't make it. What's my favorite thing about Sweden? But the flag is a big plus. Do you know why you should never gossip in a garden? Because the corn has ears and the potatoes have eyes. Did you know dogs can't read medical imaging machines, but cats can? How do you make a handkerchief dance? Put a little buggy in it. Somebody asked me if I want a frozen banana. I said, no, but I want a regular banana later, so yes. What's ET short for? Because he has little legs. What's the capital of Alaska? Do you know? I do, but I was asking you. I once had a customer ask me, what's the difference between ignorance and apathy? I don't know, and I don't care. What's the difference between Santa Claus and the Jews? Santa Claus goes down the chimney. Please don't ban me lol. Why are pirates called pirates? They just arg. This video cracks me up every time. Question, what's the opposite of pro? Answer, con. Question, does that mean progress is the opposite of Congress? What's the difference between a dirty bus terminal and a crab with big breasts? One's a crusty bus station and the other's a busty crustacean. At a bakery, is all of this gluten-free, or do I have to pay for it? Also works for sugar at a sweets place. How to stump someone with a knock-knock joke. Knock, knock. Come on in. Just FYI, this post is threatening my marriage. Husband spent an hour straight reading out these dumb jokes to me. Crying face. Me, Doc, you gotta help me. Doc, what's the problem? Me, I'm a teepee, no I'm a wigwam. Doc, relax. You're too tense. Why didn't the vampire suck Taylor Swift's blood? Because she had bad blood. An Asian American man goes to see an eye doctor for an eye exam. After the exam, the doctor says, "I know why you're having trouble." The Asian American man says, "Why?" The doctor says, "You have a cataract." The Asian American man says, "No, I have a Rincon Continental." Why was Tigger in the toilet? He was looking for poo. What's red and tastes like blue paint? Red paint. Why was the math book always sad? It had too many problems. Did you hear about the new restaurant on the moon? Great food, no atmosphere. What's the difference between a poorly dressed man on a unicycle and a well-dressed man on a bicycle? Attire. Have you heard of the Norwegian warships that are being produced with barcodes on their sides? It's so that when the ships come to port they can Scandinavian. Before you criticize someone, walk a mile in their shoes. That way when you criticize them you're a mile away and you have their shoes. The inventor of the umbrella was going to call it umbrella, but when B was registering the patient he hesitated. Two silkworms were in a race, they ended up in a tie. What's brown and sticky? A stick. Knock, knock, who's there? Impatient cow. Impatient seamoo. What the key to a good joke? Timing. Said with no space between joke and timing. I hate old people that think they are comedians. Why can't you trust atoms? Because they make up everything. What kind of shorts do clouds wear? Thunderpants. How many tickles does it take to get an octopus to laugh? 10 tickles. I have an inferiority complex, but it's not a very good one. This thread reminded me of how my grandpa would always be ready to show off a new joke he learned every time I saw him. Reddit would have blown his mind. Going past a cemetery, people are just dying to get in there. Very situational, but it's always a good one. I bought a book about how to stop procrastinating. I'm sure I'll start reading it one of these days. What do you call a one idea? No idea. A man walks into a bar and says, ouch. Guy walks into a bar, ouch. I'm addicted to brake fluid. But I can stop any time. A bus driver was going down a one-way street the wrong way. A police officer drove by and they both waved at each other. Why did the police officer not pull over the bus driver? Did I ever tell you the joke about Jim Jones? No? I'd tell you, but the punchline is too long. Oh man, I ran into my co-worker Dave twice in the hall on Friday. He called it Dave Javu. I am a simple creature and it delighted me. A jumper cable walks into a bar. The bartender says, alright, I'll serve you, but you better not start anything. Two neutrons walk into a bar. The bartender says, for you, no charge. How do slugs and snails fight to the death? Very slowly. What's black and blue and brown and lies bleeding in a ditch? On, a brunette who's told one too many blonde jokes. My whiner when I step out of the shower. A priest, a monk, and a rabbi walk into a bar. The bartender says, hey, is this some kind of joke? What's brown and rhymes with Snoop? Dr. Dre. The Idiot's $1 Million Lottery, the winner gets $1 a year for 1,000,000 years. What did the fish say when it swam into a wall? Damn. I met a Baptist minister the other day. He said he loves his job. Apparently the benefits are out of this world. What is Snoop Dogg's favorite kind of weather? Drizzle. What did the 0 say to the 8? Nice belt. What is a fish's favorite kind of music? Bubble wrap. What's brown and sticky? A stick. Where did the butcher take his girlfriend? To the meatball. How do you think the unthinkable? With an iceberg. I hurt in the kidneys. Don't you mean kidneys? That's what I said, didn't I? Time flies like an arrow. Fruit flies like a banana. What do you call cow's smoking pot? High stakes. In a small Nordic village, Thor came down from the heavens on his noble steed yelling, I'm Thor, I'm Thor. A villager down below replied, well, get a paddle Tilly. What did the pirate say on his 80th birthday? I'm 80. Three guys walk into a bar, the fourth one ducks. A priest, a rabbi, and an imam walk into a bar. The bartender says, what is this, some kind of joke? You hear about the scarecrow that won an award? He was outstanding in his field. Time flies like an arrow, fruit flies like a banana. Always makes me giggle like an idiot. Why are chickens so funny? BKRUs. Whenever I'm driving by a cemetery I always say people are just dying to get in there. What is fish without an eye? FSSHHHHH. Did you know 68% of all statistics are made up on the spot? What do you get when you cross an elephant and a rhinoceros? Hell if I know. Pretentious? Moi? Miss Piggy? My favorite joke is, what do you get when you cross the Atlantic with the Titanic? About halfway I told the joke and heard someone laugh from across the room. Guess someone was eavesdropping on my conversation. What's orange and doesn't fly, but sounds just like a parrot? A carrot. A Buddhist monk walks up to hot dog stand and says, "Make me one with everything." Why does Norway put barcodes on their ships? So they can Scandinavian.